right, welcome to the third review of the evening. Um, Up this time is Stellaris Console Edition, and the Console Edition is very important to the proceedings of this review. In fact, it's kind of going to dominate things. But before we get to that, an overview of what Stellaris is. Um, so, as you might be able to discern from the title, Stellaris has to do with space. Um, it is a galactic grand strategy game. And let's see, I think the last time we reviewed a grand strategy game on the show was last year with Age of Wonders 3. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing with Paradox grand strategy games is, they're like the grandest of grand strategy games. They're the black label, platinum standard, whatever high value you want to attach to it, a thing. That's usually what uh, these are. They've got a long legacy of uh, grand strategy games in a multitude of genres. Like Stellaris isn't even their only galactic or spacefaring grand strategy game. They've also got the Europa Universalis series. Um, but one of the things about grand strategy games is they're a very PC centric uh, genre for, I hope, obvious reasons. Like,
Yeah,
but if
for reasons that largely involve you got a lot of stuff going on. It's helpful to have more buttons and also a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
right, um, also processing power may be a thing in some of them, depending on how busy. Because you can have some big battles in their grand strategy games, like, but
Hmm.
okay. Getting down to the brass tacks here, Stellaris is their first attempt at bringing one of their grand strategy games to consoles. They released it on the They released on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. And here to tell us about how well they did that is Petty.
Okay, good lord. Um, if you like a whole lot
Real
of buttons,
gamers use barred spiral galaxies.
noted. If you like a whole bunch of buttons and knobs on your on your console strategy games, they have it. But the controls are not great. Like, for some reason, it's not very easy to jump between panes and stuff. Like, so much so I couldn't even make it through the full tutorial.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Like, I don't know if I'm just not well versed in this game enough to be able to, pick it up with the lesser control scheme of the controller. Or what, but yeah.
Well, like you got stuff all along the top and the side of your screen. How do you? I see D-pad to
Yeah.
go over to. Is it like D-pad to go over to them and then like
Yeah.
stick to select?
I think you actually push the D-pad, or it can be either. I'm not fully for sure. Oh, it's D-pad to move over. Stick just kind of controls. Stick is like movement, left stick is movement, right stick is camera turn.
Okay.
And then you can like go through your resources. And then there is on the left side has like most of your diplomatic and shipbuilding and so on and so forth. And then on the right is like what you can do with the planets you have. Like, you can, select different features to either demolish or replace. You can build various things. And there's also sectors, which is, where your planets are. Shipyard, which I hope is obvious. There is your military fleet, and then your civilian fleets, like the science ship you use to survey. And yeah, you can just send it out to a nearby star and be like, yo, survey this system. And it will come back and tell you if there are any habitable planets, if there are any good mining, either planets or celestial bodies. And there is also the construction ship, which you can use to make a colony when the science ship finds somewhere.
Do you have to only colonize places that are actually reasonably easy to colonize, or can you insist to colonize fucking Venus?
I think there are options for terraforming, but I didn't really get into that. But if they find one that's already habitable, you can just go send a colony ship there, and it will start a new colony. And then you can control time by either pausing it with triangle, or you can press and hold, and it will adjust the speed. And then, that's doing that. Yeah, one of the things that is kind of hard is, if instead of being able to jump between either of the panes easily, you have to circle to back out of it, and then you can select another one. So, I can't go over to the outliner if I'm looking at the resources or the various other options. And just, we just discovered alien life. Gonna be life much longer. I mean, wait, what? And yeah, they give you tutorial objectives to do, or objectives rather, anomalies, which are, things that are kind of weird, I guess. And then there is victory requirements. And then, since they found a ship I can go colonize, I can go to the construction ship and go here to the other area and build a starbase, which will expand my territory. So where this red area is, it will expand that once I put a starbase in here. And then I can also use that to build, more ships and stuff closer to where they would be needed, instead of having to send them all the way from my homeworld. And then I don't believe I've gotten any combat situations yet because tutorial. But yeah. This game looks like it'd be more fun on PC. But, controls. It's mostly controls.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just kind of have anything I can do with any of these planets. Molten World. Starbase is done. And yeah, as you can see, my territory expanded. Yeah, I get confused really easily. There's way too much stuff. And then yeah, it wants me to build a second space ship. So that would be
I mean, I gotta wonder what's the appeal of playing a game like Stellaris on a console.
like
Like,
the only
who is this for? And I mean that in an actual question. Like, who is looking at? Maybe they don't know the game is like this, but then they're going to be plunking down quite a bit of money to learn that. Ooh, yeah, this is a clunky adaptation of a genre that doesn't work all that well on anything other than a PC or maybe a mobile device.
I
if
mean,
they
does the PlayStation have a
Maybe.
keyboard and mouse?
you can
sh-
plug one in, but it's up to the game if it supports it.
yeah,
Does this
that,
support it?
I have no idea. I don't have a keyboard and mouse to plug into it.
I mean,
Mm.
I think that's the touting of the console edition because hey, look, it's got gamepad controls, like, and like,
I'm just curious if it is an option, if that would like work.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
no.
And yeah, as far as somebody who'd play this, like I could see if there was like a where it would sync up content between the PC version and the console version, where if like you were in the middle of a campaign, you could like finish it before, where you're just like sitting there waiting for something on TV or whatever.
See, I think Paradox considers Stellaris a console edition a different uh, product than Stellaris on PC. Because like looking at the DLC on the PlayStation Store, it's different than what they got on Steam.
So yeah, I don't know, man. This
Anyway,
game looks like it would be more interesting on PC, but we didn't get that one.
well, I mean, I had that, but that's not what we're reviewing here today.
Dude.
Like I said, if we were doing an earnest review of Stellaris as a game, I would like that's something that we would do between seasons, because this is not a game you can really get to know in an hour and
No.
on those terms. Like, I will be upfront. This is more about seeing how Stellaris got adapted to a console, and more specifically to a gamepad, than anything else. You know, maybe a different train of review than what most would take, but I think it's an important one, given, it's one of those genres you don't see on consoles, or really, it's a very PC centric genre. So the question here is, or was this adapted well to a console? And it sounds like not
No.
particularly. Yeah.
It's very much, it has the complexities of the PC, but they're giving you, a mouse with like one button that you can only click like 2 times a second.
Yeah, I mean, versus the full range and versatility of mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, where
Like,
I could be jumping around menus with keyboard shortcuts in a matter of seconds.
mm-hmm. Or a flicker of mouse movements.
Mm-hmm.
If like, I'm more of I prefer using like a mouse for these kinds of things than a keyboard. But
Yeah.
you can use either.
Some people
But
use both.
Yes.
Yeah, you use a mouse to like select things.
Yeah.
And then a keyboard to like choose what you're choose what to do with what you're selecting.
But my point is, a lot of these kind of games give you the options to do both. Like they'll have virtual representations on the console to do the things you can do on a keyboard. So, you can do these things. You can do a lot of these games keyboard or mouse only. Obviously not optimal, but you can do that. Whereas, entering a gamepad into the conversation cramps things in more than one vestibule. Now, so in terms of pricing, worth noting that this game is currently on sale on the PlayStation 4 because it's there's some sort of PlayStation summer sale going on. But okay, so the price for the base pack is $40. And the deluxe version is clocking in at a full $60. Let's see. The deluxe edition has the major expansion packs that have been released: the Planetoid Species Pack, the Leviathan Story Pack, and the Utopia expansion. Let's see. But there are also a few expansion passes. There's the console edition expansion pack 2. There's quite a bit of DLC for the game already. Is what I'm getting at. And there's a couple of avatars, but what they've got here is sort of infinitesimal to what they've got on PC, but it's a question of what was added to the initial Stellaris console edition. Because, it's kind of hard to gauge what from the PC packs have made it into the console edition, because they're kind of quantifying things differently. Some things I don't think have made it to the console edition yet, or they could have. Maybe it's in the expansion pack or expansion pass. It's a bit confusing, not gonna lie. But this isn't a rating based on all of the fucking DLC. So as far as the question is this game worth $40 to $60 on console?
On console, no.
Yeah. I mean, on PC, I'm going to say if you're into the genre, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, to get the full experience on the PC, you're going to be plunking down some coin.
Some coin and possibly most of your life.
Yeah. I'm like, let's see. No, that's one DLC. Let me see. I think all of the DLC added up comes to about $100.
And that's just the DLC, not the base game, too.
I mean, could be more. No, it's $170.86. Jeez.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's on top of the initial price of $40, or to get the Galaxy Edition, $50. So to get all of the things in here at full price is gonna cost you. I'm like,
and this also does have multiplayer, but being the PlayStation version, you do have to have PlayStation Plus.
I got to imagine that the multiplayer on this is deader than dead.
Probably.
Yeah.
So ultimately, Stellaris Console Edition is a curious experiment, but also a painful one. If my colleagues' agonized groans are
probably significantly better off just getting the original.
Yeah.
And just space out the DLC.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, right. So that'll about do it for Stellaris Console Edition. Be sure to tune in after the break as we'll be reviewing Teenage Blob.